We want to tell you as well that tomorrow Washington is going to tackle an SOS from 6 million Americans. And listen to this figure. College students now owe $950 billion in student loans. And that's more than the entire credit card debt in this country. So many broke back home with mom and dad before they even get started. And thousands of you wrote us with your stories. So ABC's David Muir decided to dive more deeply into what can be done.
More than 1,000 of you sent us your 3 words: graduates, drowning in debt, worried parents back in their old roles again. There was this graduate, nearly $25,000 in debt, just getting started, paying it off. This graduate, $78,000 in debt, will never end. And this young woman, $100,000 in debt, moved back home. Something we heard from so many of you. Graduate Ashley Meyer took us into her Dallas bedroom.
This is my room.
The same bed she slept in before she went to college, the same dresser. The only thing different, the pile of bills.
These are some of my lovely student loans.
Ashley graduated from UT Austin, about $70,000 in debt. She pays $750 a month, which is why she's back with the family dog.
That's Daisy.
Back with dad, back with mom, who just like she used to, asks her college grad if she'll be home in a decent hour.
So we're going to leave them alone and let them watch the game.
Leaving them alone, but still living down the hall. One recent survey of this year's college graduates revealed 85% saying they'd be moving back home. 5.9 million young adults, 25 to 34, now live at home, up 25% in just the last 4 years.
You can talk to people in this generation who find themselves in a place they never expected to be, 4, 5, 6 years out of school and back in the bedroom they had in high school.
The president and first lady have spoken often of the student loans they both had, still paying them off 9 years into their marriage, until just a few years before he was president. But the amount of student debt in this country is up dramatically, college tuition spiking, just as young graduates are unable to find work to pay it off.
You are seeing this tremendous debt which weighs down these young people, especially in an economy like this where so many of them are having trouble getting on those first steps of the escalator and beginning a career.
There was 26-year-old Carolyn Riley, who simply said, "Spirit not broken." She too now lives back with her mother and her brother, also a college graduate, who's back home. She's $109,000 in debt. She's paid off $6,000 so far.
Who doesn't want the American dream? And I'm not even talking about living in a mansion. We all just want a nice paying job where we can pay our bills.
A kiss from mom before they're off for the day, just like when she was a little girl. Now grown up, but back home, just like Ashley back in Texas, saying simply, still have hope.
And tonight we are learning more about that SOS Diane mentioned, a new plan from President Obama to help college students reduce their monthly payments, consolidate federal student loans, and lower interest rates. But we're going to crunch the numbers right here tomorrow night and ask the big question, Diane, will it help any of the people you just met there in our report?
Will it work? And still having hope. Very moving. Thank you.
I'm not saying don't get an education, guys, but I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, who's really getting scammed now? And you worried about if I'm trying to scam you out of $40? Think, folks. Think.
It looks like any other springtime on college campuses in the United States. Young people learning, having fun, and preparing for adult life.
A strong sense of trust is connected with.
But there is a dark cloud hovering over students about to graduate into the worst economy in decades. Their job prospects are grim. Yona et Shalom got her nursing degree from Thomas Jefferson University in Philadelphia last year. But despite dozens of applications, she can't land a job at a hospital to complete her training.
It's a bummer. It is frustrating. There are a lot of people who need nursing care and can't receive it, and I have nursing care that I would like to give.
The official unemployment rate for people ages 20 to 24 is around 16%. But that figure obscures a reality that's even worse.
A lot of people have just given up, so they're dropping out. So they're not showing up in the unemployment rate, but they're showing up in terms of overall labor force participation.
At Venerable Washington College in rural Maryland, 21-year-old graduate Emily Brown says today's young people have to scale back their career hopes and dreams.
I wanted to be all these great things, but you just have to be more realistic, I guess, is what I've learned.
The inability to work forces many young people to put off full independence. According to a recent survey, the recession has caused 10% of adults younger than 35 to move back in with their parents.
Part of growing up is figuring out what your place is in the world. And this extended period of limbo is very confusing.
The impact extends beyond college graduates. The Great Recession will likely have a negative impact on the careers and lifetime earnings of an entire generation of Americans.
If you enter the job market during a recession, you can be earning 10% less 10 years out compared to somebody who entered during a boom time.
American college graduates are not only facing the worst job market in decades, many of them will also be saddled with enormous student debts. In the U.S., most students take out loans to pay for tuition. The price of an education at a good private college or university can be staggeringly high, up to $40,000 a year.
My debt is going to be about $70,000 over the next 30 years. It just gets a little scary. It's like, will I be able to pay this off? Will I be able to handle the monthly payments?
Researchers fear this generation will have a significantly lower standard of living and less career satisfaction than that of their parents.
It cuts right to the core of the American dream, which is the idea that we all get up and go to our miserable jobs day in and day out to give our kids a better life.
Jobs may be few, but young people have one resource in abundance: hope.
I'm a very optimistic person, which is incredibly useful at this moment in my life.
Rob Reynolds, Al Jazeera, Chestertown, Maryland.